Yes, today we are taking up a new chapter, that is chapter number 2 of your Cdcs textbook, Role of the ICC and the development of UCP, how UCP has developed over the years and the role of ICC. Let's see this. So this chapter provides an outline of the activities undertaken by International Chamber of Commerce, an overview of the text of how UCP has developed. 6 revisions have occurred so far. 6 revisions. The first UCP was implemented in 1933. When was the first UCP implemented? In 1933. So we should be able to describe, after going through this exercise, this entire chapter, we should be able to describe the function of ICC, understand the origin of UCP and development, 6 revisions which have taken place. Let's see that today, how we are going to go about with it. So, the ICC is the World Business Organization. Where is ICC? It is in Paris, France. Headquarters is at Paris, France. So, ICC is the World Business Organization. It was founded in 1919. When was the ICC founded? In 1919. It is a body that speaks with authority on behalf of all the enterprises from all sectors in every part of the world it speaks about. So today there is a global network. There are more than 6 million companies. 6 million companies are there in ICC. Chamber of Commerce, business associations, and in more than 130 countries. In more than 130 countries you find. So that is how national committees are there in 90 countries. They work with ICC members and they will convey to the government all the business views formulated by ICC. So these national committees are there in more than 90 countries. They work with ICC members in their countries and they will address all the concerns. They will convey to the government whatever business views are formulated by ICC. What is the fundamental mission of ICC? What is the fundamental mission of ICC? To promote international trade and investments. International trade and investments. To help business to meet challenges, opportunities, all globalization. So ICC has 3 main activities: rule setting, dispute resolution and policy advocacy. Policy they will implement, dispute resolution and rule setting. 3 main activities of ICC. Because the member companies and associations are also engaged in international business, ICC is having unrivaled authority in making the rules. These rules are voluntary, they are observed in thousands of transactions. Every day we observe all these rules of ICC. This has become a fabric of international trade. It is a fabric of international trade, ICC rules. ICC works closely with United Nations, World Trade Organization, intergovernmental forums, including the G20 countries. So, rule setting organization, the ICC Banking Commission produces, this is the rule setting, one of the activities of ICC. ICC Banking Commission produces universally accepted rules for different forms of trade settlement and guidelines for international banking practice. So this is important to know, and in order to obtain global understanding, ICC brought out the first version of Uniform Customs and Practice for Documentary Credit in the year 1933, and that was called UCP 82. Now we are with UCP 600 in 2007. So in 1933, it started with UCP 82 to have a uniform platform in the interpretation and application of documentary credit. Can you see this? From 1933 to 2007, these revisions have occurred. And now we are with 2007 revision. This is how it happens. So 1951, 1962, 1974, 1983, 1993, 2007. These are the 6 revisions. 336. UCP 151, UCP 222, UCP 290, UCP 400 came in 1983, UCP 500 came in 1993 and 600 came in 2007. The current version came on 1st July 2007. These rules are supplemented along with URR 725, Uniform Rules for Bank-to-Bank Reimbursement, and there is also EUCP. Now the present version is 2, EUCP 2 and ISBP 745. So UCP rules are the most successful privately drafted trade rules ever developed in the globe, in the world, because this is global certification you are getting if you do this. So most successful privately drafted trade rules. 2 trillion trade transactions a year. Can you imagine the trade transactions? 2 trillion. So before UCP, it can be traced back to the regulations affecting export commercial trade adopted by the New York bankers. More than 30 banks contributed. 15,000 copies of the regulations were distributed globally before UCP. By mid-20s, 1920s, it spread to Argentina, Czechoslovakia, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Norway, Sweden. They have also created rules for handling export commercial credits. And in 1928, several banks, Copenhagen, Denmark, they produced joint regulations governing the handling of documentary credits. But now with UCP, everybody is so comfortable. All these earlier rules were all not to be taken up. In 1929, Uniform Regulations for Commercial Documentary Credit came up. ICC brought out UCP 82. UCP 82. So 6 main changes. Each development led to the wording that, see, whatever wordings we are having in UCP 600, it has not come all at once. It has come in phases. Over a period, they are able to take it in stages. Today, whatever wording is. So a number of position papers were also released. Many changes made over 50 years ago. So UCP 82, 1933. The first document to be issued under the title Uniform Customs and Practice. Number of significant changes has been made. A draft version has been circulated in 1929. Draft version was circulated in 1929. What were the changes? That banks must examine all documents and papers with care. So banks must examine, that was the word. The introduction of the term owner was there, and it was also giving you detailed requirement for transport document and insurance document. And there was a provision, insurance against all risks. Banks cannot be held responsible. So the provision, documentary credit requires what? Presentation of other documents without further definition. Banks will accept such documents as tender without any responsibility. Then the expiry date, when credit falls on a Sunday or any local holiday, the period for validity going to the next following business day. Extension was stated not to apply to later. So if a shipment date, there is no extension. Shipment date cannot be extended. So that has started from 1933, UCP 82. So in addition, UCP 82, there was Article 11, disclaimer regarding the effectiveness of documents. Today we are having Article 34 in UCP 600. So Article 12 also contains whatever is there in Article 35 that was there in Article 12 in the first and third paragraphs in UCP 82. And regarding these dates, first half, second half, beginning, middle, end of the month, they have the same meaning as we have today in Article 3 of UCP 600. Next we go to 151 UCP. It came in the year 1951. In the year 1951, we got 151 UCP, number UCP 151. And there the settlement methods were introduced. Payment, acceptance, negotiation, purchase, and the term applicant was used. Earlier the term used was principal. Today also in documentary collections we use the word principal only. For a principal we use for beneficiary. Here applicant was principal, he was known as the principal. And here in documentary credit all of us deal with documents, not with goods. That was started in UCP 151 in the year 1951. And there was a provision called reasonable time to examine. Now we have 5 banking days following the day of presentation of document. That comes under Article 14. There, at that time in 1951 UCP 151, the word used was reasonable time, and description of goods must correspond with the description in the credit. That was there used. And then we go to 1962 UCP 222. So UK and Commonwealth adopted the UCP. In this UCP 222 in the year 1962, these two countries, UK and Commonwealth banks, they adopted. They also adopted UCP. So the ICC has made a lot of efforts for this acceptance of these rules. And in UCP 222, what did we find? That documentary credit is binding on all parties. Credit is separate from contract, and the word without recourse. This was introduced for the first time in UCP 222. Then by cable or other notice of refusal to be given now by telecommunication. That time the words used were cable or expeditious means, or documents may be returned. These words were used for transferable. Now we use the word transferable, Article 38. There what were the words used, instead of transferable? Divisible, fractionable, assignable, transmissible, and should not be used in the context of transferable. These are the words that were used in 222 UCP. How to handle documents of second beneficiary should the first beneficiary fail to substitute. Second beneficiary's documents, how they have to be used, that was discussed in UCP 222 in the year 1962. Then we came to UCP 290 in the year 1974. Changes were, the term nomination came here for the first time, the term nomination. Now we have in Article 12 in UCP 600. There the term nomination has come in UCP 290, and the word used, inconsistency among the documents, a preclusion rule, refusal of documents, preclusion rule. So new article was there for combined transport. Now we have Article 19 for multimodal. So this combined transport new article has come in UCP 290 in 1974. And they implemented the default position of 21 days. 21 days. And a new article was introduced for assignment of proceeds. Now we have Article 39. So in 290, UCP 290, this new article covering assignment of proceeds was introduced. Then in UCP 400, 1983, there was a large restructuring done. So a huge restructuring of the text was done in which UCP 400 in the year 1983. Actually, that is the layout for our UCP today. So UCP 600 has come, actually originated from UCP 400. The pillar is UCP 400 for us from 1983. So let us see what UCP 400 says. The word advising bank was used, deferred payment undertaking, bank-to-bank reimbursement was introduced, original document was introduced, tolerance was given, and that time they gave 3 to 5%. Transshipment word was used, and then came in 1993 UCP 500. Then first UCP that we have all experienced, current documentary practitioners, to look at the transport document. Large number of changes were made in UCP 500. Irrevocable word was introduced instead of revocable. Permission to advise a credit that could, even if the credit could not be authenticated, there was a permission that you could still advise it to the beneficiary. Then prohibition of partial acceptance of the amendment. Amendment should be accepted in totality. Partial acceptance not permitted. Now we have in Article 10. And they came to that not to exceed 7 banking days following the day of presentation. Now we have 5 banking days. And the non-documentary conditions will be disregarded, what we have in Article 14 now. So UCP 500 brought out all these changes in 1993. However name, see the document, introduction, however name, can sign the document. Transshipment was redefined for containerized shipments, and between 400 and 600 UCP, it was instrumental in bringing out some position papers. Some papers were brought out to explain in detail the context of the word original, and there were some other clauses, and the position papers covered all this. The definition of negotiation and giving value, one or more non-documentary conditions, naming of the carrier or transport document, all this was between 400 and 600. So ICC brought up another set of rules, ISP 98, for standby letters of credit. Because a large number of standby letters of credit were introduced, ISP 98 was brought out. Because earlier we were issuing SBLC under UCP 600. Even today we can issue, Article 1 says that SBLC can be issued under UCP 600, but still ISP 98 was brought out for all SBLCs, and Article 1 very clearly talks about this. Then in January 1999, Euro replaced the legacy of the currency, European countries. So the legacy currencies that would remain beyond January 1999. And the impact of European single currency, that is Euro, on monetary obligations, this was also given in between 400 to 600. And as I told you, the position papers of original document was discussed. What is original document? That was discussed in UCP 500 Article 20B. That was done in UCP 500 Article 20B. Manually signed, what is marked original, and that was also given in ISBP A27. We can read that in A27. And EUCP started version number 1. Now we have version number 2 for EUCP. And in January 2002, and this was implemented in January 2007, version 1.1. Latest version is 2. And ISBP, now we have 745, earlier it was 645. And this International Standard Banking Practice also speaks about Article 13A for examination of document under 500, UCP 500. Lastly, we have our UCP 600. Number of changes were made to align it with ISP 98. And the changes included new articles, removal of the word revocable credit. There was a article which talks about lost in transit, and maximum period is 5 banking days. And there was handling of descriptive documents are also shown here in UCP 600. And ISBP, earlier it was 681. Now from 2013 July we have ISBP 745. So ISBP 745 of various documents you have. A is the general, B for bill of exchange, C for commercial invoice, D for multimodal, E for bill of lading, F for non-negotiable, G for charter party, H for air transport, J for road, rail and inland waterway, K for insurance. Then you have all the miscellaneous documents, L for certificate of origin. So like this up to Q you have for all this, and ISBP 745 was released. So what we have understood in this chapter is 6 revisions were made from 1933 to 2007, and whatever we are reading now in 39 articles, it has not been introduced all at once. Over a phased manner, few changes were made in each revision. Finally, today we are with that revision of UCP 600, which came in July 1st, 2007 with 39 articles. Thank you.